Point editing in Silhouette Studio is one of the main things that makes it so incredibly versatile in the design world. Now, I have done a tutorial on point editing in the past, so if you haven't yet checked that one out, I will link it up in the top. I strongly recommend you check out that tutorial before following through with this one, as it does explain quite a bit of the basics that we aren't really going to cover too terribly much in today's video, as we're going to be referring mostly to broken points and how to adapt them and how to use them to your advantage. My name is Kelly, and let's get clacking. I'm going to start off with just a kind of circle within a circle. Of course, we've drawn the design and it is not a compound path, because when we double click on it, this is what we see, and we're not able to see the points. So what we need to do here is we need to right click on the design and click convert to path. And then when we double click on it, we'll see all these little gray dots, and those are the points that we're going to be using. In this type of a design, you won't see any red points, so we're going to actually create some. And this is especially useful if you want to manipulate your design a little bit and create new places or change the way that it looks. So what I want to try and do is I'm going to break this one. So I'm going to select that point and I'm going to go to break path. And there you will see we have now one red dot. And then if I want to take this one, I want to break that one as well. And I'm going to click break path. Now we have 2 red dots, but this is not 2 red dots, it's actually 4 red dots, because each dot has a start and an end point. So if we drag it away from each other, we can see now 3 red dots. And if we drag that one away, we can then also see we have now 4 red dots. So if we wanted to join these together, so let's say we wanted to join the outside, this one with that one, we would simply just need to pick it up. And that's normally what I like doing when I want to see which line I'm actually working with. I actually separate the one line exactly like I've done here now, because very often you won't know whether you're picking up the one on the left or the one on the right. So by separating it a little bit, you'll actually be able to more easily see which line you're working with and in which direction you're going to be going. So I separated them a little bit, and I'm now taking that line and I want to move it up there. Now, if I want to maintain the same shape, obviously it's going to be a little problematic because I've now already moved the line. However, what I can do in this particular case is move this line back over on top of the other line, and then we can see we've got the shape pretty much back to normal. Then we double click on it again to open point editing. We then pick up that point and we land that point over there. Now it does obviously throw the design out a little bit, so a little bit of a tip that I can give you before you're working on things like this, if you want to save your design. So we're going to go back a few steps to before I've even created the points. Now, if you know exactly what you're going to be doing with your design, I would suggest that you create a point right next to the point that you're going to be manipulating. So if I zoom in a little bit more, then we'll see we have that point over there, and I'm going to use my pointer and create a point right below it. Now what this does is it saves the majority of the shape that we're working with, and of course because I'm going to be working with the shape at the top as well, I'm going to do exactly the same thing there and create a point right next to that point. Then we take the original point and we do exactly what we did before. So we're going to break the path there and move the one out of the way, and then join them together. So now it becomes a lot easier to work with. So we can take that point that we've broken essentially and we can delete it. So we can take that one and we can delete that one there as well. Now you'll see we have a lot less shapes to correct. So for me, it's a little bit of a win-win. And now we can start playing around with the shape, because obviously this shape doesn't look all that nice. So we need to do some correction here. So what we can do is one of two things. Is we can take that point there, but now this point is set to a curve. So like I mentioned in the first tutorial, it'll either be a smooth point or it'll be a corner point. And because we want to maintain the curve of the one side of the point, I need to change that point to a corner point. So I'm going to select it, and instead of it being selected on smooth, I'm going to change it to corner. And now the arms, which are right here, that are on either side of the point, you'll be able to move them freely of each other and they won't affect the arc. So you'll be able to then take that point and move it, and you can see now you can move it. The other side of the shape isn't affected. So if you wanted to have a sharp edge, you could then put it at pretty much parallel to the first dot. Or if you wanted to have a little bit of an arc, you can maybe change it there. and we can go to the other point, and that one's also smooth, so we're going to change that one to corner, and we're going to then move that point, and we can have it just like that. So then your edge looks a little bit rounder, and we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So we take that one, we change it to a corner, and we move the arc a little bit, and we take that one, and that one's pretty much fine already, but we can change it to a corner and change that arc a little bit. So what we've done now is we've taken a corner off the circle, and we've broken the paths and rejoined them, and I mean it kind of looks like a little bit of a C, but you can see that the C actually itself also looks a little bit round because we've created a little bit of an arc on either side. So that's mostly what I'm doing when I'm dealing with these kinds of, you know, points. Obviously this is a very simplified design, but it's one of the easiest ways to work with actual points themselves. I find this an exceptionally useful technique when it comes to joining two completely different files together. If the weld function isn't quite working for you, then you can make those two objects into a compound path and then use the points to actually join them up as one solid object. So I hope that you found this useful. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in my next video. And remember, be kind to someone today. See you soon.